Hello, welcome to the Manic Money Finance channel. We are returning after 4-day hiatus to bring you the news and everything crypto and tradfi. You'll have to forgive my appearance. I know I'm looking a little crazy. I just so happen to have been streaming, I just so happen to be streaming some Horizon Zero Dawn. And, it can get a little weird playing Horizon Zero Dawn. Especially because, we got to be rocking the game lore, accurate face paint, and everything else. So, I figure we'll probably just jump right into it. You know what I mean? And we'll cover a little Bitcoin action here. Oh, that's not good. That's not good either. There we go. That is the screen we want. All righty. So, Bitcoin went on a tear this week. So right now I have up it looks like basically a 2-month type chart. These are looking like 1-day candles. These are not 1-day candles. These are the 1-day candles. This is the 1-day chart. So I'll bring up the weekly chart. It's going to give us a better idea of the overall general direction of Bitcoin here. But as you can see, Bitcoin has been going nuts. So what I was expecting is proving to be the case with Bitcoin. So basically, Bitcoin is just steamrolling everybody. So draw a little Fibonacci action here. But basically, look at that. The 786 did not play out. It went all the way down to a 1-for-1 freaking discount. Go figure, right? But Bitcoin finally, this past week, went over the $100,000 range. And it is staying above the $100,000 range, which is pretty wild if you think about it. Let me just check the audio levels here. Audio levels are good. I adjusted the gain up, but not too high to where you can hear me talking to my sister downstairs in the kitchen, like 3 or 4 days ago. I deleted that stream, by the way. It was the only thing to do. But yeah, as you can see, Bitcoin is slowly marching up. I think we're looking at, like I said before, a minimum high of 125K this cycle. So when you look at election years, this is just what Bitcoin does during election years. So the last election year in 2016, Bitcoin marched up into 2017 and hit its all-time high right about now in 2017. This year is going to be substantially different, mostly because the incoming president, his cabinet, the incoming administration. Sorry, I was like really hunting for that word. But the incoming administration is incredibly favorable towards Bitcoin, which basically means, this thing is ready for a moonshot. You got freaking Elon Musk serving on the cabinet of the new presidency, which is only means good things. So if you're invested in cryptocurrency, congratulations, because you're winning. But But yeah, as you can see, this thing's marching up. We have higher lows, and I think at this point in time, especially right here, we can probably expect the Bitcoin on the near term to move up the rest of the weekend. It had a little bit of a pullback on Friday, which was interesting. But right now, what we're seeing is a weird little pattern. And as you know, the Asian markets tend to take over around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is right now. And they tend to rocket this bad boy to the moon or absolutely steamroll it. So we could see that. The problem is that's what the chart is showing. And usually the Asian markets, the algorithms and high frequency trading bots that are working around the clock over there in Asia, they tend to do exactly what the least thing you would expect. So right now we're looking at a 103.957. I'm seeing a 103.987 on the Robinhood live chart. So usually the Robinhood live chart is going to be like a precursor. This is what I've noticed. So if you look at the Robinhood live chart, it's usually a weird precursor for the rest of Bitcoin. So right now it just crossed over 104. It is slowly moving up into the 104s now. And usually you'll see very quickly here that it almost predicts what is going to happen with Bitcoin. So, I mean, we're still showing 103.970. Of course, I am on Bitstamp. So we can go to Coinbase and we're showing 104.34, just like I said. So I think right now what we're going to see is a correction from this trend down over the past 24 hours. We're going to see a V-shaped correction up on the Bitcoin chart. It's pretty interesting, if you know what I mean. It is a beautiful thing, really. But, so funny enough, oh boy. So, what I was liking today was Solana. So I jumped into Solana. Let's look at the 5-day chart. I jumped into Solana in this range right here in the 230s. I was just looking at different altcoins. So like lesser known altcoins or AI coins, and a lot of them weren't doing so good. Even stuff on the Solana network was kind of tanking. So I decided to jump into Solana, and it paid dividends. Funny enough, Friday afternoon, a friend of mine was asking me about XRP, and I was telling him, you know, your basic problems with XRP being, you know, the dilution in your face that Ripple will do, and the fact that, you know, as a cryptocurrency, this thing is deeply flawed. Half of these are already on the market. And what I'm seeing is basically because of that, if Ripple decides to keep selling, they are going to tank the price of this. Ripple needs money. Ripple's been fighting the SEC for months now. And what's going to end up happening is they're going to have to take profits. And that's why you see a chart like this over the 5-day period, whereas all the other charts are trending up. See these large red spikes, these sales? That is Ripple selling XRP on the open market, because only half of all XRP are in circulation. So I hate to say this, my XRP army people, the XRP is horrible. Like the fact that it is even at 324 right now is insanity. Get out while you still can. 100%. Because you can see it's lagging Bitcoin. It's lagging all the other markets. And all you're going to end up doing is ruining your portfolio. So stay away from it. You heard it here first. So the thing that I thing that I jumped into today, and I really like this chart, is Peanut the Squirrel. So this chart looks abysmal. If you look at the 5-day chart, this is abysmal, right? They just got listed on Coinbase today, and they went from 68 cents after getting listed on Coinbase to a horrid 50-cent low. And this is a coin that was at $2 plus what, a month ago? Basically, a little over a month ago, $2 plus. Absolutely insane. I mean, it's a meme coin for sure, but they managed to get themselves listed on Coinbase and all the other major exchanges. So I'm thinking to myself, hey, this thing is doing the opposite of what most coins will do when listed on Coinbase. This to me looks like a localized double bottom. That's a round bottom right there. We're seeing a round bottom here, right? But nothing would justify this type of behavior. So basically this level here where we had a bottom back in, back 48 hours ago, back in 2 to 3 days ago, we had a bottom at the 54-cent range. So basically 54-cent range. All you need to see is this bad boy hit 54 cents. It's already up from where I bought. I bought at 51. Life's looking good right now. But if this thing breaks 54 cents in the near term and then, gets above this 55-cent range, you might see a serious runner. And I'm not talking 75-cent range. I mean a runner to the $3 to $5 range. This thing could absolutely skyrocket. It's just, some kind of insanity. Absolute insanity. So, I don't know, anybody who's watching the markets and seen the SPY, let's go to the SPY this week. This thing, I mean, gaps. I mean, these gaps are bigger than the gap in my front teeth. Just saying. And it is absolutely insane to watch this because these major gaps happened on days when economic data was released at 8:30 a.m. So your PPI, your CPI, week over week, yearly over yearly percentage increases were just through the freaking roof, people. Through the freaking roof. I don't even know. I haven't looked at the data at all. I can just look at the price action, look at the directions the markets are going, and I can tell you right now that not only was inflation data good, producer price index data good, but people are confident in Trump coming in as president. That's the only way that this can keep happening. I mean, the SPY looks like it will actually regain the $6,000 range. I mean, it bounced over it on a near-term price action over the week, and it is a round top. It is pretty ugly, these gaps especially. But if you see that buy value, even with those giant red candles, this thing is freaking maintaining, and it's a beautiful thing to see. Beautiful thing to see. So I want to get to last week's economic data. So I'm trying to figure out how to get to last week's economic data to see exactly what happened. Because we don't care about next week's economic data. Oh, here we go. Last week economic data. Boom, baby, boom. Here we go. So this is last week's economic data. So core PPI, the actual and the median forecast, it was 0.1% over 0.3%. So the median forecast, there was no median forecast here, but it was 3% last time, and it was 3.3%. And the monthly U.S. federal budget, the actual was worse. But CPI year over year, the expected was 2.9%, and it hit that exactly. The core CPI for December was down. The year over year was down for core CPI. So that's exactly why we saw what we saw. Retail sales were down, which is, import price index was up minus fuel. The Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Survey, which, isn't really all that great, but home builder confidence was up. Housing starts were up. Building permits were up. Industrial production was way up. So basically what you're seeing is either data that's in line or better than the median forecast and far surpassed the previous data that came out. So I could really care about, next week's because it's Saturday. You know what I mean? We're talking about the last week. This is a day of reflection. We're not looking forward right now. It's Saturday night. People are drinking. People are having fun. People are partying. They're talking about their wins. They could care less about what's going to be coming next week. So it's interesting. Part of me still wants to scroll up and look at the next week's economic data that's coming out. But I won't. I won't be doing that. Let's see who texted me. But yeah. And this is crazy stuff, man. Crazy, crazy stuff. And you should be following this channel because I will show you how to make money. For the record, I'm going to go to it right now. Sorry, guys. That's embarrassing. But we have a new video up. And it is the best video that we have ever put out. It is the Manic Money's top 10 tradfi stocks to double your portfolio in 2025. Here we go. Stock portfolio for 2025. Not all others are like it. Not all others are created equal. But I think this one is the best. I hate listening to my own voice. I this by saying this is more of a... So this is difficult for me. I'm going to toss money into these different derivatives, stocks. I don't have, editors and a big production team, et cetera, et cetera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these things. This video right now, almost in order. I basically break down to you what to do with your portfolio. Obviously, it's always important to keep averaging down in the forefront of your mind. So these stocks that I'm throwing out there could end up going down marginally in the near future. Obviously, I filmed this thing on January 12th. I didn't post it, I think, till January 16th, something like that. I haven't put the timestamps in yet, which I will be doing tomorrow. Putting timestamps in so you can go to each stock as the breakdown. But I'm talking about stocks like Zomedica, BlackBerry, Kodak. I'm even getting into biotechs. Going over some biotechs for you guys to let you know just how to double your portfolio in 2025. And when I say double your portfolio, I'm being conservative here, because stuff like Zomedica could easily go 10 times. And if you have a 10% of your portfolio is into something like this and it goes 10 times, just one holding, you're doubling your portfolio right there. Where are my math people at? You know, it is wild to think about because of the future economic landscape we find ourselves in. You know, because I thought for sure the SPY was going to keep dropping and we were going to see a fold over, a bailout from the large cap stocks into the small caps. So all the small caps are up. They're up beautifully. But at the same time, what we're seeing is people are still reinvesting into the SPY. Like what? What? How is that even possible? But it's happening. It's happening. That's something I didn't even predict. I can't predict that for you. Of importance. But they have a high. But yeah, I'm talking about Zomedica. Like I said, we're talking about what is this? Yeah. Still Zomedica. I spent a lot of time on Zomedica. We're talking about QuantumScape. Before, I forgot about that. QuantumScape. Have you ever heard of that? By puts. They don't sell quantum computing. So this is them just selling stocks. They don't do that. They are using this to info and not really give you D-Wave Quantum. They're selling quantum computing technology. So obviously that's not what I want to do. Government contract. So D-Wave Quantum. Go check out this video. One. This one is stuck on crypto and you have nothing into TradFi. You're a fool. Not financial advice, but you are a fool. You should be getting into TradFi, at least with a portion of your portfolio. Not financial advice. 25% of your portfolio into TradFi, even with a Bitcoin bull run that we're seeing on the horizon. I mean, you're talking massive gains, massive freaking gains, you know? And I mean, you could literally just jump into something that is Bitcoin adjacent, such as what we're seeing here. This is Bitcoin Depot warrants. This is a 5-day chart. This is a 3-month chart. This is a 6-month chart of Bitcoin Depot warrants. So you see this giant buy here. But these warrants are good at somewhere around $10 a share. Anywhere between $10 and $11.50 a share. And so basically, Bitcoin Depot, all it would have to do, and this is a stock that has Bitcoin in its freaking name, right? All you would have to do is buy these warrants for less than 10 cents a piece. And if Bitcoin Depot goes to $10 a share, these warrants will be worth at least 50 cents a piece. If Bitcoin Depot goes to $20 a share, these warrants will be worth $10 a piece. So it's something that won't cost you much to do or jump into. It's very cheap. This is a market cap stock of only $108 million. Their volume is low. They are going unnoticed at the moment. But what will happen is some rich people, some market makers, some hedge funds will realize, hey, this is Bitcoin in the name, and Bitcoin's hitting 125K right now. It's early February 2025. Bitcoin's at 100K, 110K, 120K. All of a sudden, Bitcoin Depot goes on a run. We're seeing a 300% day. Then it's down 10% the next day. And the day after that, it's up another 200%. All of a sudden, these freaking warrants go from being worth 9 cents a piece to be worth 90 cents a piece. And because they're so cheap, it won't cost you very much to jump into this investment opportunity, which is not financial advice. It's something to think about. You know, I mean, I'm sure you can see up in the right hand side, you can see the indexes. NASDAQ's up, the Dow's up. Yeah. Yeah, people. Think about that. So Supercom. So this one's a fun one. This thing is still marching. It is absolutely insane to me. Freaking $13 on the aftermarket on Friday, which is just wild. Their next earnings isn't for over 3 months. The market cap is only 23 million even at these levels. This company is not worth that much. But they're an Israeli-based cybersecurity company. And that's a fun thing with this. So when there was crazy stuff happening and Israel was bombing the crap out of Gaza, this stock was going up. See this big run right here? Actually, let's go to the 6 month. So you see this big run, this run here, beginning of October. What happened October 7th? All right. And it was October 7th. It dropped at first. Then it ran up. And over the past few months, every time Israel does something crazy over the weekend, this thing goes nuts on Monday. They did a reverse split a while back, too. You can see the S. That's a reverse split. And so, therefore, the market cap is minuscule. It is tiny. And I was talking about this stock back here. We were talking about this stock way before this happened. And if you had bought, you'd be sitting pretty. Not financial advice, but you'd be sitting freaking pretty. This is what we do here. This is what we freaking do here. And check out BlackBerry. Oh my God. Is that the same chart we were just looking at? No, this is a completely different stock that I was talking about. People, these are not meme coins. These are the stocks that I was giving you. All right. There was a lot of noise going on this channel. Okay. There was somebody spewing on and on about price action on Bitcoin, trying to make predictions for you guys based off of freaking technical analysis that he learned from somebody else. And it wasn't making you any money. He wasn't making money. He was losing money on Bitcoin. And I was giving you these stocks at the same time, and y'all weren't listening to me. Remember what I said about Bitcoin? Remember where I said it was going to go today? Oh my God, would you look at that? We were down here when I started the stream, and I said the Asian markets are going to take over because it looks bad, and their high-frequency trading bots and algorithms will automatically go for the stop losses. They will reverse direction. Whatever you think is going to happen will be the opposite at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's exactly what happened. What I just predicted, right in your freaking faces. Bitcoin's easy. It's very easy to predict. Anytime you're looking at stocks, cryptocurrencies, you always need to keep in mind manipulation is in the forefront. This stuff is highly freaking manipulated. Right? So don't just, don't just take my word for it. This is the first day that I'm able to actually talk to you guys by myself and spell this stuff out for you. I mean, you can see in the right-hand side, oil's down, gold is down, silver's down, right? So I'm already seeing an opportunity here. Yep. So if commodities are down due to whatever market conditions are happening, you know what that means, right? If commodities are down due to the current market conditions, there's an opportunity here for you to make money, right? So obviously, the smart money isn't going to be jumping into commodities. Where's the smart money going to go? The smart money is going to go into small caps, large caps, stocks and equities. They're not going to touch commodities right now because with Trump coming into office, the price of oil will be going down. And when that happens, and the interest rates will be going down as well. And when that happens, where are we going to make our money? It's going to be in stuff like natural gas, which went through the roof this past week. You don't believe me? Let's check out natural gas. Let's check out the natural gas ETF. Oh my God. Look at that. Natural gas is going up. Can you imagine if you jumped into this 1 month ago? This is a 1 month chart. Natural gas got destroyed by Biden because with oil through the roof, natural gas producers started selling a ton of natural gas. They started sending it down the pipelines. They started ramming it down Europe's throat. They said, hey, get this natural gas. So that's the funny thing. Like I've noticed with different administrations, it's like the Democrats will always tell you, like, we care about the environment. We're doing what's best for the environment. Meanwhile, fracking was through the roof under Biden's administration, which is crazy. What? They said they hate fracking. But if you saw, the natural gas freaking reserves went through the freaking ceiling. There was more natural gas on the market than there ever been before, and it tanked the price. I mean, look at the 1 year chart of this thing. Look at the 5-year chart of this thing. When did natural gas peaked with oil? But it has been in the dumps since. It's been down since Biden took office. It is insane to think about. And now in the last 3 months, because they know what's coming, natural gas is up. Go figure. I try to tell people, I try to help people. Obviously I was basically freaking crippled before because I'm sitting here trying to talk to you about these stocks like Zomedica, a good way to make money, and I can't go into depth on this stuff. So, I mean, you see this right here, if you had just kept buying in at the 12 cents range and sell at 15 cents, buy again at 12 cents, sell again at 15 cents, freaking wash and repeat. You could have had a nice gain 2 times, twice in a row. And all it would have taken is checking the stock once every few days to see where the price action is. Because what's happening now is, and what we're seeing now is a flag. It's not dropping back down to 12 cents again. You're not getting those cheap shares. The best you can hope for is to get in at 13 cents on Monday, not financial advice. My coworker saw the video, top 10 for your 2025 portfolio, that I posted on our YouTube channel, and he bought Zomedica first because that was my number 1 pick. He's already up. About 5%. Just saying. Zomedica is killing it in a veterinary biotech company. And this thing, the price action and history of this thing. I mean, you see that. In 2021, this thing went insane. And it could do it again. This thing is listed on the New York Stock Exchange. So they're not worried about maintaining a $1 minimum listing price. That doesn't matter. They're on the nice. They have enough stockholder equity to maintain compliance. So they're not worried about that. You know what I mean? They tried to do a reverse split on their stockholders, and their stockholders voted against it because the hedge funds don't own this stock. Insiders before this did not own a ton of this stock, but they've been buying it up. And you can see it on Robinhood. You can go look at this thing on Robinhood. The investors are buying this up. The insiders are buying it up because they know You know, we might not get 250 again, but we could get $1.30. We get $1.30 by the end of the year. And then what? That's going to be a 10 time for you. So, just something to think about. I mean, this past week, I got an APLD. We jumped into this thing. Let me see. Let's bring up the 5-day chart here. So, we were talking about this thing at the $8 range. Earnings were coming up, and I jumped into an earnings collar here. When it spiked to 960, I sold my calls. I did 850 calls, $8 puts. When it spiked to 850, I sold my calls for a sweet freaking profit, and I still had the puts. And when it dropped down to 860, I was able to get a few dollars from my puts as well. My profit on this was 30 to 40% on an earnings collar. So most people are probably wondering, what is an earnings collar? And that is when you buy calls and puts on the same stock the day before they post earnings. And you buy them for a short-term expiration date, usually Friday of that same week. So you buy some calls that are out of the money by 50 cents. You buy some puts that are out of the money by 50 cents. So to be successful doing this, you really need to be watching the stock price, because your entry point is going to be super important. And you're going to basically want this thing to be halfway between, in this particular instance, halfway between $8 and $9. So right around here is when I jumped in the day before earnings, because it was at $8.50 a share during intraday trading. And I was like, hey, this looks good. Let me go ahead and just jump in. And I did. And my time on this thing is Eastern Standard, is UTC. We're going to go ahead. Where's New York? Right here. So, and we're going to look at the 5-day still. So it was right about her in the 850 range. I don't know if this is exact date. It brought me down to the 1-day chart. There we go. So it was right about here, Wednesday, 3 in the afternoon. I was like, okay, we're at 850. Let me buy these $8 puts, and let me buy these $9 calls, or 850 calls. Worked out sweet. I'm going to be doing some more videos, because our top 10 for 2025 got more views than any of our lives did. And I can see by looking now, and I know, somebody, he who shall not be named, was always talking about, we're going to freaking blow up. We're going to have these many subscribers, blah, 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 blah. But me and him did so many freaking live streams together. And I'd be looking up, and I'd see 1, 2 people watching now. And, we'd have only a couple people watching. Dude, it was rough. It was really rough. And to have the person that you're streaming with spouting this delusional BS that, when we get to 20,000 subscribers and blah, 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 all you people watching, there was nobody watching when he said that stuff. There's nobody watching now. I'm literally just ranting to myself. I am ranting to my freaking self. But I don't care, because someone's going to go back. They're going to look at this stuff, and they're going to say, hey, this dude knew what he was freaking talking about. He knew what he was talking about when he sat there and said, hey, Bitcoin's about to jump up to 104, well over the 104 range. And that gave you the opportunity to get into a short-term trade. And even if it was a leveraged trade and make some money, hey, that's something, So, yeah, just saying. Just saying. I need to calm down a little bit. I'm trying to take the high road and not bash anybody. Um, Obviously, this is my first time streaming by myself here, and it's difficult not to feel some kind of way about that, And I don't really want to get into it. I don't really want to possibly draw any angst or aggression from any third parties that may or may not have been associated with this channel in the past. But at the same token, I'm going to be honest. And I probably didn't handle myself as well as I could have. Just going to throw that out there. I probably didn't handle myself as well as I could have. I probably should have been more upfront and confrontational in how I carried myself, and told somebody specifically exactly what I thought was wrong and what was going wrong with our channel and how we were conducting ourselves. And I didn't do that. I let it fester. I basically took it for granted that the person that I was dealing with was who they are, and they weren't going to change, and the things that they enjoy, the things that they found interesting, the things that they believe to be true were more important than anything else. So I just kept my mouth shut. I sat there for minutes to hours on end. Over the course of 3 months, it was hours and hours. As you guys know, I used to be the quiet one on stream. I used to have to shut up sometimes for 15 minutes straight while my streaming partner talked to you about leveraged Bitcoin trading, chart analysis, technical analysis. I had to keep my mouth shut, and I viewed that as being a good partner in streaming. But basically, all I was doing was creating a atmosphere in which I was becoming pissed because I didn't think that if I said something, it would be good. I guess there was a lot of talk about emotions on this channel in trading in the past few months, and I kept my mouth shut during that. And then finally, one day before stream, I said, "Hey, man, listen." And I knew I couldn't be honest, and if I was honest about it, I knew that I would just piss that person off, and I knew I would get some kind of BS. I knew I wouldn't get, a genuine, legitimate reaction. So I had to frame everything carefully in a way that avoided confrontation, because if I had talked to this person like I would talk to anybody in my family, it would have caused major problems. So my way of basically putting an end to the talk about emotions was to say, hey, you're trying to mentor people. You're trying to charge people money to mentor them for trading and technical analysis. If you go on and on about emotions during trading and this coaching stuff, you're basically giving them all that information for free. And thank God that actually put an end to that. But I realized that I literally had to sugarcoat this stuff and walk on eggshells when dealing with someone who's supposed to be the closest person to me, someone who I'm spending 30 minutes talking to before stream every day. And I literally couldn't be honest with this person because their ego wouldn't let me. Their ego was so freaking big that they would get offended and lash out at me. And sure enough, this stuff just simmered in my psyche, in my mind, to the point where I lost it. I just had enough. I don't know. You could probably the live stream's deleted now. It's gone forever. But there was a live stream where I was here for about 10 to 15 minutes. I had been drinking. I will be completely honest with that. So therefore, my inhibitions were gone. So when this particular person started going on and on about the Bitcoin chart and their technical analysis, they're literally repeating themselves over and over again. This freaking same thing. You're 786, you're blah, 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 you're Fibonacci, you're this and that. When they started just repeating themselves again, I just felt like, oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? We have the same 2 to 3 people watching every day, and you're just droning on about the same things on the charts every single day. And it was driving me insane. So I eventually just walked away. I walked away. I couldn't take it. And I needed to walk away because I was going to do something on stream that I probably would regret. I feel like at this point, I did not do nearly as much damage as could have been done, like to where the point where the bridge is burned. I feel like the bridge isn't burned. The bridge is still there. And I told him, hey, when you make your own channel, I'll be happy to shout you out so your supporters can come find you. But at the same token, I need to work on my own stuff. I need to do my own things. I made one video. It was a one-shot video. I did some research for it, but these are stocks that have been following for a while, so I didn't really need to do a lot of research. So this whole thing took me 1 hour to film and upload to YouTube, and it got more views than all of our live streams. More views. One video that I made by myself got more views than literally all of our live streams. At that point, I was done. I was done. I couldn't keep doing it. So I know nobody's watching right now, but someone might actually watch this after I'm done live streaming tonight. And I kind of at least want to explain my side of the story a little bit. If that doesn't matter to you, so be it. I really don't care. When it comes down to it, at the end of the day, I need to be my own person. And I need to, stay true to me. I mean, I was getting crushed doing this live stream, and it was not good for me. It was really, things were festering, obviously. And I was getting very bothered by how our channel was progressing or not progressing. I mean, we had 20 subscribers. Those subscribers are my friends, my family, his friends, not his family, but my friends and family and his peoples, that he's associated with. But it wasn't going anywhere the way we were doing it. I was putting in all the work. I'm the one who started this channel. I'm the one who started the Facebook page. I'm the one who does all that stuff. So I'm running into a situation where it's like, okay, I have disposable income and I want to start pouring it into this channel to grow and become something. And I was not getting that. So I was not getting a reciprocal effort on the other side of things. That other person that I was streaming with, they wanted to spend money on their hobbies, spend money on their individual YouTube channel. They didn't want to put any money into this. And I was told point blank they weren't going to put any money into this. So my only way forward at that point in my mind was to do this by myself. And if that other person wants to start their own channel, I will advertise the crap out of it on this channel because I want my friends to succeed. But at the end of the day, I need this channel to be mine because that's the only way I'm going to build something here. To be plateau out at 20 subscribers is freaking pathetic. And knowing that it'll never get anywhere because the person who I'm working with, that's supposed to be my best friend, doesn't want to put in any effort. What? Dude, I'm probably going too much into the details, but I really don't care. All those altcoin picks that he gave you guys came from somebody else, his own mentor. They came from Crypto Lifer and Master Friend. Those people that he freaking shilled on this channel. And he told you guys, they know more than me. They taught me everything I know. Go watch their channel. He was literally sending our viewers away from our own channel. Are you kidding me? How do you not realize what you're doing, dude? You're shouting out your mentors, telling people that they know more than you and they tell you everything you know. Why would they watch us anymore? Obviously, they're going to watch me for TradFi. I'm at a 90% win rate with TradFi. I will be quitting my job this spring. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I will be trading full time. I'm just building up my freaking portfolio. I don't care. I'm going to get myself to a point. I'm basically already there, but I just don't want to be living on a razor's edge. I'll take the time. I'll keep working 5 days a week. I'm going ham every weekend. I'm building freaking 3 channels right now. And I'm doing other stuff on the side too. That's all I do is freaking work. I don't go do hobbies and stuff like that. I do my chores that I need to be a functioning human being in society. And after that, it's my job. And then it's streaming. That's all I do. So it's frustrating for me to have to deal with someone who just wouldn't put in the reciprocal effort. So, and not only that, wasn't doing the research, just giving you people picks that someone else gave him. That Crypto Lifer guy, he accepts money from altcoin projects. People pay him money to shill those altcoins to his freaking followers. And then his followers show those altcoins to their followers. That's what there was a freaking pyramid scheme. And you guys were getting screwed if you hung on for more than a day or two. Because every single altcoin pick that he told you guys, it tanked after 48 hours. Because once that chart went up, those freaking people that were paying that guy to shill that altcoin, they sold. And you got screwed. So really, I'm just doing you a favor. I'm into TradFi. I do crypto too. Don't get me wrong. But all of my picks, everything I give you is research I've done myself. Freaking 8 years. 8 years, almost to the day now, of freaking misery, defeat, losses in order to come out and have a 6-figure positive lifetime profit range, which a lot of people can't say. And that's why when I bring up these charts of these stocks, they all go through the roof. 90% win rate. You're welcome. And I'm sorry because I've been thinking about this stuff a lot. And it's been really bothering me. And I told myself that I would not go into any kind of details on what happened with this channel in the past 4 days. But I kind of, if you're smart enough and you can read between the lines, I definitely gave you a lot of details. I won't be doing that again. So when I come live tomorrow at 8 p.m., it will be to talk about economic data of the week ahead, stock picks for the week ahead, cryptocurrencies that I think can make you money for the week ahead, and stuff like that. And oh, would you look at that? Bitcoin is still going up, just like I said. Just like I said. The accuracy rate is through the roof. Y'all really need to be listening to me, people. Y'all should be listening to me. You're stupid if you don't. And, also, these shows are going to be, the Manic Money Show is going to become a 1-hour show. I'm going to add a lot more content. So the small account challenge will be starting. I'm I'm going to be putting $15 a week into a standard brokerage account. So everybody has access to a standard brokerage account. Your typical tradfi, stocks, etc. That's something that anybody in any way, shape, or form can start. There's nothing stopping you from it. You don't even need a bank account for a lot of them. So we're going to be throwing $15 a week into a tradfi brokerage account. And I'm going to show you how to build real wealth with just $15 a week. We're going to call it the Small Account Challenge. And I hope you'll check in with me because I'm going to be going over that once a week, probably on the Saturday show, because Saturdays are rough for content. Outside of cryptocurrency, there's not a lot to cover on Saturday. So the Small Account Challenge segment will be on Saturday every week. Because as we start out, there's not going to be a lot to talk about. Like, hey, look, there's $15, and I put it into something, and it's still $15, or it's $14.50, or it's $15.50, something like that. It's not going to be interesting, but I can go over tactics and strategies at least, and yeah, I can show you how to turn a small amount of money weekly into real world wealth with time, compounding interest, different policies and principles. But yes, so we're about an hour in. I'm not going to sit here and drone on and on in a lifeless monotone voice about like a Fibonacci and I'm not going to drone on you guys. Yes. I'm not going to drone on you guys. I'm going to say, hey, have a great Saturday night. Have a great weekend. This has been the Manic Money Finance channel. Tune in tomorrow night if you want some tactics or strategies for the week ahead. Stay frosty, my friend.